Hi everyone and welcome back to Arctic RC. Today something different. Yeah, you got it right. RC cars. Jesus. Our main interest is, of course, RC planes and RC helicopters. But from time to time, we have tested out cars. I have tested out nitro cars, gasoline cars, and of course, electric cars. Never really get the hang of it, but lately I've been watching some cool YouTube videos. Sadly, most of these videos are bashing videos, and I'm not all the way there yet, but we need to try. And I sort of wanted to be a little bit of a noob, if I can say that, and that means I want to share this video with you guys that are new into RC cars. You're wondering about buying one and what type of car you want to buy. There are a lot of brands cheaper than the one that we are presenting to you today, but this is sort of I will call it the middle class, where you have everything that is good, but it can also get better by upgrading the car. And these cars have a lot of third parties upgrades, together with upgrades from the company. And of course, it is Horizon that are controlling this brand, and it is ARRMA, and the car is Kraton. This is the 4-cell version 2, the BLX, and this is sort of a 1 to 10 scale car. I chose this car because I wanted to have a bigger car. I'm not fond of these smaller ones, but I would like a big one to start with, so that we can increase in the size if we like doing car reviews and driving the cars, of course. And by good help from elephant.no, we got some advice about trying out the new Kraton, the 4x4 version 2 one. So that we did. There are some traps that you can end up with, so we are going to explain those here, so that you don't end up doing the same mistakes that many other people does. Of course, you would perhaps hope that we did an unboxing video. There's not much to unbox. It's the car, it's the radio, and the radio is SLT3, 2.4 gigahertz radio with trim settings and travel adjustment settings and so on. Not much to say because there's so many videos out there. The only thing I can say is that if you are enjoying your car and you really want to buy some more cars, I would recommend that you buy yourself a better computer radio. If you choose to buy Spektrum or other brands, I don't care. But I know that Spektrum has a beautiful one with Android system on it, so you have totally control over your car, and you can add larger receivers, so you can add lights and so on, controlling them from your transmitter. But anyway, this is what comes together with the car. and the manual of course. The body has a rubber band with these safety pins which lock down the body, and you don't have to be afraid to lose these ones if you're out in the forest or someplace where it's hard to find. If you lose them, they are stuck to the body. This car, of course, this is the version 2. This one has the brand new motor and the brand new ESC from Spektrum, and of course the Spektrum wiring system. This is IC5. Make sure that you know this when you're buying batteries. It's IC5. It's compatible with the EC5. So if you have batteries EC5 with EC5 connectors, no problem at all. In the manual and on the box, it's stated that the minimum requirement of battery is a 5000 milliamp 4-cell 50C. When you go into the store or you are using the product or item number to get the batteries, you will be led to a page where it says that these are Gen 2 batteries, Generation 2 batteries. Here is a hatch, and also something that could cost you a little bit extra money, because the Gen 2 batteries, they come without a balancing plug. That means that you need to have a special charger to charge these batteries, and that can set you back about $150–200. The ordinary smart batteries comes with a balancing plug so that you can use it on your ordinary charger. But the Gen 2 batteries don't have a balancing plug, so you need a special charger for this. If you go to the step that you really want to buy a new car and you want to buy a charger and the batteries, I recommend you to buy the smart packs. The reason is that they storage charge after 72 hours, so they won't go bad if they are charged too long without you using them. And the charger from Spektrum, the smart charger, is also compatible with ordinary batteries with balancing plug, as long as you have the right connectors, of course. This one has connectors for the IC3, and you slide these hatches up, and then you have the connectors for IC5, which is compatible with the EC5 and EC3. If you have other plugs, you can use adapters, but if you're using Spektrum smart batteries, you are really good to go. And here you have an on-off switch, so you don't have to pull the cord all the time. Press on and the charger is on. And the only thing that you need to do with these batteries, the Gen 2 batteries, is just to slide them into the port, and let me see, and the battery will start charging automatically. So this will help you a little bit on the way, so that you don't buy the car and you buy the wrong batteries. I would strongly recommend buying the minimum required batteries, but that's up to you. The specs of this car you will find in the link below. And before you start rambling about Spektrum, I'm not sponsored by Spektrum at all, even though you see a lot of Spektrum stuff when we do our reviews, the radios and so on. But I find it a bit safe to use. The Spektrum radio we are using for helicopters and planes has never let us down. Any other brand, any other product, even Spektrum, there is some bad apples in the basket, and we just have to accept that. You can buy a brand new receiver that doesn't work, but that can happen to Futaba, that could happen to FR Sky or any other radio system. So you will always have some bad apples in the basket. So don't complain to me that Spektrum is a bad brand and so on. What I can say is that Spektrum is quite expensive these days, sadly, but I would rather have these smart batteries, which will work together with telemetry and everything that I have on my radios. But that is a preference that I like. And Yes, again, I'm not sponsored by Horizon. So let's talk a little bit about the car. The car is a super fast car. It has a rated speed for up to 88 kilometers per hour, and that is pretty fast for this small car. You can adjust the speed with this button on the side here. You can set it to 50, 75 or 100. And you can of course increase when your son, your daughter or yourself are getting a bit more confident on your driving. So cool feature, you can set down the speed. There is a lot of plastic in this car, but that means that it will of course bend a little bit and be a little bit more forgiving than having an aluminium tray under the car that will bend during bashing and things like that. There is a lot of replacement parts for the ARRMA collection, so you don't have to be afraid that you will run out of parts. The car came with these wheels. These wheels are terrain wheels and they are quite big and soft. We chose to change them with paddles because we have a lot of snow here now, and I thought it would be much more fun having the paddles driving on loose snow than having these terrain tires, because we really want to throw some snow around with this one. And we will of course produce videos with these tires on as well. This is just an add-on, you don't need these. These are more than good enough on snow, but these will give you a bit more sort of cool feeling also when we are filming the maiden voyage of this car, or the maiden run. This car is water and dust proof, so it will handle snow, water and so on, but it won't handle you throwing it in the lake. For those who try to run the cars over lake, if this car drowns, you may break the electronics here as well. So I wouldn't advise it, but it will handle snow and of course sand and dust and so on. But make sure that you clean the car after you have used it. That will give you many more hours of running, other than just throwing it on a shelf and wait for the next run. You really want to treat it like your big car. Wash it, clean it, make sure that you oil the parts that needs oil, and check these chocks because they are known to leak a little bit after a while. So you want to see that they are tight, and do refill them if they are leaking. You can also change them. This is the version 2, so I can see that the chocks are a little bit different than the one on the previous Kraton. So perhaps that is a good thing. But now let's just put a battery in and see if everything is okay. Turn on the radio, pressing this button. You have a red light, if you can see it. You're good to go. And you're just going to put the battery loose in here. You're not going to drive it. And inside here you have a bind button and you have a power button. So we are going to press the power button to start the car. And of course you really want to be careful, because if it spins away, there's a lot of movement in the car. When you give throttle, the car will sort of go back, and when you brake it will go forward. So this car has a lot of momentum. Let me just make sure that I have a good grip here. That works. Is a servo arm saver on this car. That means, let me turn off the car first. The servo arm saver is sort of a feather. I can't show you here. I will try to find a picture that I will post on the video. When you have hits on the tire, rocks and so on, it's easy to snap the servo arm or even break the servo. It's stated that the servos here now are newer and stronger. That can so be. We will test it out. I can't say anything about it before we have tested the car, and hopefully it is as strong as they say. And of course, when the car is in motion, you will have even more throw, of course, because it's not too much resistance when the car is flying on the road or snow. I'm saying flying because this car goes super fast. My main goal with this car is getting Elna to like driving an RC car with better controls. She loved the hovercraft that we made, and she has tried an RC car before and she loved it. And now we have a good possibility here, and even with the throttle control, it will give her a better experience. So, if you are a newbie to the RC car equipment, I now given you a little bit to think about. The reason that we chose the ARRMA Kraton is that we got some good advice. The car is sort of in between 1/8 to 1/10 scale. It looks stable. It has great speed when we want to do that. Easy to get parts for it. And it isn't that expensive. Think about what I have told you now. You can use any type of batteries. You just need adapters for IC5 to the one type that you have on your batteries. The car looks beautiful and I can't wait to get out trying it. If you're new to RC cars, I believe that less isn't better and more isn't best. So if you can land in between, I believe that you will have a great experience. And the most important thing is to, when you buy an RC car, is to figure out before you buy it, what type of driving do you want to do? Do you want to do drifting? Do you want to do bashing? Do you want to do climbing? And so on. Because there is a wide range of different type of cars that you can buy. So find your niche. It's a foreign word, I think. And buy the car for the use that you want. We want to do forest running, mountain running, just ripping trails here in Kirkenes in the northern part of Norway, ripping on the snow, saying ripping, perhaps bashing in the snow. Bashing in the snow. No. So, but you understand what I'm saying. Get the car for your needs, and as I was saying, less isn't better, more isn't best. You can find something in the middle or in between. So until next time, see you guys and have a great new year.